Dan. It is very simple to repair a broken gear to the bottom, and today we will come to Peshawar to repair it. So we will investigate that the kind of gear that broke from the shaft center in front of us is obviously impossible to repair. However, direct welding cannot ensure concentric and coaxial, so before the start of the regular splicing, the master must first fill the fracture surface, that is, through the welding rod to enhance the color. Butt welding, not only to seal the original leveling hole, but also to enlarge the external area of the fractured shaft hole in order to make up for the cracks that appear in the fractures. It is not too close to the filling root on one side, and there is no way to tightly close the seam, so that the broken shaft hole can still be kept in the center, and the inner wall of the outer ring of the gear wheel must be stacked and welded in the same way, so that the thickness of the two sides can be balanced enough. With the master's unusually skilled welding operation, the shaft hole and the shaft hole just reach the overlapping state, but in order to realize the tight joint of the two, the rough welding scar still needs to be adjusted with a lathe. Only with consistent data can the same fit point be found, and after the outer ring of the gear and the claw disc are concentric and coaxial, the first step is to use a sugar cutter to carry out the cutting process, and the main purpose is to make the surface of the welding bond smooth. At this time, after careful comparison of the snap gauge, the existing outer ring of the gear is in line with the existing gear ring, and it is necessary to consider whether there is any gap between the docking with the shaft hole and the master. So the master must combine the rigid measured endoscope to deal with the sweat of the shaft hole again. Although the master's processing speed is unusually fast, but also has an unusually high precision, the whole exterior and the data of the card return are not half a point of error, and after confirming that it is correct, the outer ring of the gear is docked. Although this splicing does not use too many threads, there is no effect on the concentricity of the two docking, and with the help of the master, the wolf head can be used to pile weld and fix it with a high hardness weld bridge, which can completely cover the crack. Under the welding of 10 welding rods consumed by the master, the existing gear is simply formed into a hole, but because of the protruding welding scar, the balance of the gear is affected, and in order to avoid the surface of the exhalation that will jump when the gear rotates, it must be cut off to restore the flatness of the appearance. It can not only make the traces of welding disappear completely, but also improve the brightness of the surface. Although the current gear has been restored to its original state, if the gear still has the performance before it is not broken, it is necessary to restore the original balance hole, and this is the point of view that the gears can use. Although they do not have high-quality special tools, but they can use the cardboard mold of the treadmill to accurately mark the correct point, which is really a small strip of land that helps a lot, and then hit the center point with an onion. The subsequent drill bit can be fixed in the correct position, considering that the external view of the gear wheel cannot be fixed on the bench drill. The fixing master dismantles and removes the fixing claw disc on the lathe, and the weight of the claw disc can avoid moving the key when the hole is open. Under the positioning of the small drill bit, the large drill bit can be used freely at this time, and the gradual progress can prevent the drill bit from running the drill.